Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Reconnect, and Building Solid Foundation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. I am your host, Teresa Lawrence. I am an author, I am a coach, and I am an international motivational speaker. My brand is called The Leadership of Play, and I teach children to value their dreams, to dream big, and to hold on to them, to hold on to those dreams. Because as we grow older, we lose those dreams and we just stop acting on them. I also teach adults to remember what it's like to be children, to remember what it's like to dream, to visualize something more than what they're experiencing. And it is my goal to interview other leaders that believe as I do, that leaders are here to help others uplift themselves. My vision is to really highlight true leaders that are making an impact in many areas: health, education, art, culture. I mean, this is really an expansive and fun space where I get to have fun exploring things I like. And today, I am honored for my first show to have my beautiful sister, Dr. Beatriz Olson, who is a #1 best-selling author of the book Mind Body Secrets. And today we're going to discuss her journey into medicine, why she wrote the book, what she's up to, and what her goals are for the future. So please join me in welcoming my sister, Dr. Beatriz Olson.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I am so thrilled to participate in this auspicious beginning to your radio show.
So, you all don't know very much about me or my family, but we are Cubans, and Cubans unite and we uplift. It's a fabulous community, and I am just so thrilled to have you here. And I want you to discuss your journey, which is really our family's journey, to the United States and the process of becoming Dr. Beatriz.
Well, I think that we are very, very lucky, you and I, to have been taken to the United States. We were both born in Cuba. I'm older than you. You were a child when we were going through the process of leaving Cuba. Our father, as you know, was anti-Castro, and he was punished and kicked out of the University of Havana. And our entire family went to the most eastern province of Cuba called Oriente. And from there, he was separated from the family. And we waited 7 years to finally leave the country. And our journey was incredible in that I always knew, being the oldest, that there was another place for me where I was going to be free. Although I grew up with the tension that I didn't know if they were going to come home because there was such an aggression against our family. I think at the beginning, I would say that my first experience of wanting to be a doctor has to do with chickens.
Okay, do tell.
It was at a time where my father had been taken away from us, and he was working in a small town far away, and I got to spend a month with him during the summertime. And I slept in a cot next to him, but during the day I would see children with him in the clinic. And there was a mother that brought a child, and he was so swollen. And it turned out that he had kidney inflammation called glomerulonephritis. And my father helped this mother and child to heal themselves so that when they came back a week later, the child was no longer swollen, and the mother was so delighted. And the kidney tests were back to normal. And all of a sudden, the mother produced a chicken. And you have to understand that in Cuba there was no food. Food was rationed. So for my father to get a chicken, I said, that's a pretty good job, regardless of the circumstances he was having. I want to be a doctor so I can get some chickens. So that was the beginning of my journey. Then, of course, we came to America, and I was fortunate enough to go to Barnard College and Columbia University and become a doctor. But I was hit by a number of health issues being an immigrant here in America, having to do with diet, having to do with eating the wrong things. And our parents were concerned about our safety, so I wasn't allowed to go out and play. So I was stuck in the house with all of delicious waffles and syrups as my hormones began to burst, and I began to change into a young woman, and I became obese. And because of the state in which I was criticized by everyone, and everybody thought that I should be able to handle this situation. And I was an entire mess, and I couldn't help myself. And I said, oh my God, what am I going to do?
So now we're going to explore the journey of going from that child, that traumatized child, into medicine.
Well, I think we're all inspired and directed by the experiences in our lives and the traumas in our lives. They create inspiration for the future. And I have always been a person who's optimist. I'm never a victim. I always say, well, what can I learn from this, and let's move on. So I decided that I would become a doctor, that I would become a hormone doctor, that I would understand everything about nutrition, and that I would understand everything having to do with fat cells and health. And so I became an endocrinologist. And then I did research to identify peptides that could regulate appetite in the brain. And I also went to the National Institutes of Health, where I learned about hormones and water regulation. So later on, I went on to have my own private practice for the last 27, 28 years, and I've also been an academician teaching. And in the process, I have helped thousands of people reach their weight like I have. I have been the same fabulous weight for the last 40 years. And I like how I am, I like my journey, and I believe that every one of us has innate capacity to heal. All of us have the capacity to connect to what our bodies need. And we're getting the wrong messages, because right now the world has changed significantly, but we're still ancestrally the same creatures that have been made over millennia. So our bodies requires really good care, which we seem to be losing here in this current world. I believe in giving this message to everyone. I believe that we can heal ourselves and that we can become increasingly independent of a medical system that is disease-centric and not whole person-centric, which is what we are.
Thank you. What is fun about your book is that it's interactive. There are meditations and there are journaling. Talk to me about that.
So this is a very important question. As part of being a mind-body medicine person, I believe that mindfulness or meditation is the way that we can calm down the nervous system. We're all super hyper activated. Our activating nervous system is going 100% all the time, and we can't relax. So this is a way that I can teach people in each chapter through their QR code or a link to join me on a meditation that I prepare for them, and they increase over the timing over the book time.
And in the book, you also share some stories, some success stories about some of your patients, their incredible journey. If you could point to a highlight, and there are many highlights, but if you were saying, basically, if you were giving yourself a high five for the moment you were like, I've got this, what is your high five moment?
The high five moment is that people are confused about what they want, because they have mindsets and beliefs that are not aligned to their mission and vision. So my highlight moment is that
So wait, go back. So what does that mean?
What that means is, for example, you want to lose weight, but a part of you has a belief that if you if you lose weight, you may be sexually abused again. You may be hurt by the environment, or something might happen. So I help to change mindsets and allow individuals to become empowered as adults and not held back by childhood experiences, so that they can actually achieve what they want to achieve in life. And that's the story of every single case of my book.
There are other fun and interesting things that you share about our family and about our grandmother and our mother. And I don't know if you want to share with the audience that Mommy had Alzheimer's for a very long time.
Yes.
And how it impacted everyone.
So, very sadly, our mother experienced what we believe was Alzheimer's disease for 15 years. And I really think that my mother's illness had to do with the major stresses that happened in her life and the diet that she had that led to inflammation. We now understand that Alzheimer's disease is a multifactorial disease, and that we can actually make big efforts to prevent the disease and diminish its consequences. So this I brought into the book.
Oh, fabulous. And now it's time for a commercial break. Join us in our next segment, where we delve deeper into some of the chapters of Mind Body Secrets.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports.